The feds raided homes in Los Angeles and Miami that belonged to rap mogul Sean P. Diddy Combs. And tonight we hear those raids are linked to possible trafficking.
50, of course, he's going to have his comments. He said, now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done, meaning he's finished. They don't come like that unless they got a case. Exactly. That's facts. He continued it, trolling Diddy, talking about the private jet where they tracked it. He said, oh, this is a movie. I told y'all, but no, y'all didn't listen.
All y'all was there looking at this. That's why I don't be going to the puffy parties. They know you from the front and the back of the seat. Tell them about it.
Man, somebody didn't call me. I done seen, man. So I'm staying off my social devices. It's too much cooning and buffooning. Too much cooning and buffooning. And believe me, when I get my thoughts together, I'm gonna figure out a way to articulate myself. Cause this conversation ain't even for the whole world to hear. It's just for us. Believe me, they saying you cooning and buffooning. Oh, believe me. And they loving every minute of it.
A Venom boy about to go down, you know how the feds rolled up to Diddy's crib and dismantled the whole place, taking everything from laptops to cameras and tapes to God knows what I mean. Look at this place. It was one hell of a mess when Homeland Security finally left. Well, it seems like Kingpin Puffy is not too happy about it, and he has all his resources working on who ratted him out. And best believe his eyes are set on 50 Cent. These hip-hop mogul have been feuding for decades, going back and forth on social media, calling each other out in their music, and so much more. And it seems as if Diddy thinks 50 finally went over the line and actually ratted him out to the feds. Can you believe it? Either way, we're going to get to the bottom of this. First, let's get into what happened over the past few weeks. Just over a week ago, federal agents stormed Shakol's residences in Miami, and simultaneously Homeland Security agents stated that these searches were linked to an ongoing investigation by federal authorities in New York. During the search, Sean wasn't present, but his two sons were detained for a period. With the onslaught of lawsuits against the music mogul, things have been spiraling downward for him, according to Derek Parker, known as the hip-hop cop. This investigation doesn't just target Diddy, but also involves his alleged accomplices, which, as you might guess, make up a significant portion of the music industry. It's safe to say that this raid has the potential to reshape the entertainment landscape. Parker emphasized that this investigation was a long time coming and was inevitable. With his deep understanding of the rap music underworld, Parker's book Notorious Cop sheds light on his experiences with the NYPD Rap Intelligence Squad, which investigated some of the most significant criminal cases in rap history, including two involving Diddy in the 1990s. It's intriguing how things have come full circle regarding the legal complaints. Many indicated that Diddy's control over the entertainment world stemmed from his meticulous record-keeping of guests' activities at his parties. Now authorities are leveraging this information to conduct a thorough cleanse of the industry. As Parker stated, the government is gathering the cooperators that they have so far, and they're giving them explicit information about Diddy and some of the things that he's done. So they're taking that information and they're utilizing it in a big case against him. The raid that you saw at the house was only the beginning. You might be questioning why the cleanse is happening now, especially since the previous lawsuits against Diddy were civil with no criminal charges involved. Well, those earlier lawsuits laid the groundwork by tarnishing Diddy's reputation. However, the recent complaint filed by Lil Rod was different. It contained videographic evidence of Diddy's actions, prompting authorities to take action. When these details were presented to the magistrate, a warrant was issued allowing Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, to utilize all their resources to thoroughly investigate Diddy's residences. According to Parker, this was the crucial step that paved the way for the raid.
The government is building their case. Apparently what they're doing is they're going through all the witnesses or cooperators that they have, all the evidence that they've uncovered, and they're going to see if there's any charges that are going to be brought up. But you'll see something happening very soon.
We all recall that Justin and King Combs were detained during the raid, correct? This did not sit well with Diddy, and with the assistance of his lawyer, he asserted that the raid was an exploitation of military-level force as search warrants were executed at his residences. He argued that his children were unfairly subjected to hostility by the authorities. Diddy's lawyer contended that the incident amounted to an unprecedented ambush, accompanied by a highly coordinated media presence aimed at tarnishing his reputation. They claimed that this incident would lead to biased judgments in both the court of public opinion and law. Diddy emphasized that no criminal or civil liability had been established with any of the allegations, thus maintaining his innocence until proven guilty. In addition to Diddy's assertions, his excessive racist in nature, she argued that just did not warrant having several laser beams from firearms pointed at his chest, nor did Christian deserve to have a firearm aimed at the back of his head. While handcuffed, Missa contended that their lives were put at risk that day. Missa stated that Justin has secured legal representation to address mistreatment. This move stirred up drama, prompting her sons to seek legal counsel, ensuring they were prepared when facing allegations from their own alleged victim. Yes, you heard that correctly. It seems the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Christian is now facing serious allegations from Grace Mark, who claimed that Diddy's son gave her drugs and saw her during a yacht trip organized by Diddy in December 2022, according to NBC News, which obtained the legal filing. Christian has been accused of and inflicting emotional distress. Diddy himself has been sued for premises liability, as well as for allegedly aiding and abetting Christian in the SA. In her lawsuit, Omar Khaid disclosed that she had been hired to work on board the yacht, believing it was a wholesome family excursion. However, instead, Omar K claimed the voyage quickly turned into a hedonistic environment with substance use and a constant rotation of suspected adult workers. The cherry on top is that the lawsuit cited an audio recording from a makeshift recording studio on the yacht, which according to Omar K was where the alleged began. A partial transcript included in the lawsuit. Omar K was being pressured to take a shot and asked Kristen Combs, "Are you D'ing me?" with Combs answering, "Take the shot before you call this fabricated evidence." CNN has listened to the audio recordings and can independently verify the transcript detailed in the lawsuit. Tyrone Blackburn, the lawyer representing Grace Mark, responded to Christian's lawyer Aaron Dyer's intention to file a motion to dismiss the lawsuit. Blackburn stated that they anticipated Christian attempt to dismiss the case and express confidence in the strength of their evidence. He also criticized the response from Christian's legal team, suggesting that it was a predictable move to discredit the allegations rather than address them seriously. Like father, like son, it gives us no joy or pleasure in filing this suit against Christian Combs, who has clearly adopted his father's pattern in practice of depravity. So y'all know 50's always had some beef with Diddy, right? Well, looks like he's not holding back, even taking shots at Diddy's kids, which is a new low even for him. Folks are speculating that maybe 50 is trying to send a message to Diddy's sons, telling them to clean up their act after that clip of Justin and King Combs' detention went viral. Combs called out his dad, saying things got real in a post that 50 later deleted. He said, "Is just got real. The feds and all the cribs, they got the kids in cuffs." And without stopping for a beat, 50 posted a cryptic message saying, "Now it's not Diddy do it, it's Diddy done. They don't come like that unless they got a case." For those who ain't up to speed, back in December, Diddy got hit with a lawsuit for SAW by his ex, and 50, true to form, went on a tear, dragging Diddy through the mud. In the midst of his shots, 50 dug up an old interview with another bad boy singer, Mark Curry, who spilled the beans that Diddy had a habit of spiking drinks to get girls loosened up. Before all these other lawsuits came up, a rep for 50's production company, Unit Film and Television, confirmed that they were working on a documentary focusing on the allegations against Diddy, with the proceeds going to SAW and our victims. Initially, the documentary was called Did He Did It, as hinted at in his cryptic post. To drive his point home, Fifth hit up Instagram saying he'd do right this time, hinting at the documentary. But when more lawsuits started rolling in, Fifth went silent on the doc, and folks kind of forgot about it. However, his latest tweet brought the documentary back into the spotlight. He fired off another post saying, "This is going to break records when this dro GLG Greenlight Gang, you know the vibes." And that wasn't even the end of Diddy's rant. He kept on firing off posts hinting that Diddy knew the feds were closing in on him, which is why he was nowhere to be found when they came knocking. He called out Diddy for leaving his kids to deal with the mess he got himself into. Diddy's relentless trolling seemed like a sign to some that maybe 50 was in on the plan for that surprise visit to P. Diddy's place, if you catch my drift. But hey, this ain't the first time 50's taking shots at Diddy for his mess. When that first lost suit dropped, 50 was all up on Diddy, saying his troubles were just getting started. Yeah, before all these other lawsuits popped up, 50 was saying all the women Diddy wronged would come out of the woodwork. And that's exactly what happened. Since Diddy's fall from grace, he's been spotted a few times, but he recently popped back up on social media looking unbothered by all the chaos.
Down here at Pura Vida by my pad, run into the man right here. What's up? Miami's like that.
Nancy Grace didn't hold back when she reacted to the raid on Shan's homes, saying that even though nobody wants to see a superstar go down, they got to be held accountable for their actions. She made it clear that nobody should be above the law. While Nancy was laying into Diddy his own pure, Boozy wasn't holding back either. He was pissed that all the friends of Diddy who used to be at every one of his parties are nowhere to be found now that he's in trouble. Booey just couldn't wrap his head around how all these people were kicking it with Diddy, but none of them are showing him the same love while he's dealing with hard times. I don't care none of them guys that was at Diddy toasting with that champagne every year, having speeches with them. Nobody speak up for this man or nothing. All them all with those suits on with their cups up. Ain't nobody said nothing. That's why you ain't going to see too many guys around me who was around me before I went to jail. You don't see too many guys around me after Boozy called out for support for Diddy. 50 Cent didn't hold back in explaining why nobody's stepping up to help him out. 50 claimed, "Sore, you little sore L." All this jab really hit a nerve, and Daphne Joy started throwing shade at 50, calling him out for being a deadbeat dad. She claimed that despite her and their son Sire moving to New York so 50 Cent could step up as a father, he failed miserably, only seeing 10 times in the 2 years they lived just a mile away from him. She was done pretending for their 12-year-old son, claiming 50 hadn't even earned the image she was trying to maintain. Plus, she dropped a bombshell alleging that 50 had taken advantage of her without her consent and had been abusive, but 50 wasn't about to take that lying down. He clapped back with a response that had Joy catching heat from all sides. 50 spilled the tea, saying Joy had supposedly tried to trap him into a relationship with a baby, and when he didn't fall for it, she went running to Diddy, who seemed to cater to her every whim. All right, so let's dive into why Stevie J stepping up to defend Diddy's allegations is such a big deal. Back in February, a former producer and videographer for Combs, Rodney Jones, dropped a lawsuit claiming he was subjected to some serious mistreatment by the rap mogul for over a year. Jones, who worked on Combs' The Love album Off the Grid, is gunning for $30 million in damages. He alleges that he lived with Combs from September 2022 to November 2023, while they were working on the album, traveling across the U.S., and even vacationing overseas together. Among a heap of explosive allegations, Jones claims that Combs used Stevie J's access and Jones' admiration for Stevie J to manipulate him into engaging in intimate acts. The lawsuit alleges that Stevie J recruited workers and was part of group intimate encounters dubbed freak-offs. According to Jones, Diddy tried to coerce him into doing some inhumane stuff, all under the guise of it being the norm in the industry. According to TMZ, at the time, Stevie J spoke exclusively with the outlet about the allegations leveled against him. The reality star appeared to keep his statement brief but firm. He said, "These allegations are false, and my lawyer will be handling this going forward." So Stevie J decided to clap back at the allegations on social media, claiming he ain't going to be that guy because he's one of God's favorites. But then 50 Cent jumped into the mix on Twitter, straight up saying that Stevie J was Diddy's boyfriend. 50 made it clear that Stevie J might have sold out, but in the money sense, not morally. Then Stevie J went off on 50 during an interview with TMZ, trying to defend his longtime buddy Diddy. At first, he tried to shut down all the allegations against Diddy, saying he'd never seen him do anything shady like they were talking about in the lawsuits. Stevie J claimed he'd known Diddy for 29 years and hadn't noticed anything off, but then he went on to call out 50 Cent for constantly trolling Diddy over the whole situation. He said, "Uncle Tom, cats like that now, you want to put me, I don't know if y'all saw the post 50 posted about me. Of course you guys saw that. You can't brush under the rug. I don't see anybody reporting about what tatted up Holly said about him beating her up and about these other baby mamas beating her up. I just look at it as he wants to bring the black community down worse than anyone else, despite occasionally shifting his focus to other targets." 50 Cent has been keeping up with his posts about Diddy almost daily recently. He even used the nickname The Diddler, which has become pretty common when talking about the rap mogul, and 50's been flexing about his boxing skills, too, claiming he's still sharp as ever in the ring. Funny timing, considering Stevie J's threat of a fight just a few days back. Now, what exactly officials found in Diddy's homes is still up in the air, but folks on social media are speculating it might include evidence that could implicate some of his celebrity pals. According to his ex-bodyguard Gan Deal, there's a bunch of people from all walks of life who could have been caught on camera doing some shady stuff. Deal broke it down in a recent interview with The Art of Dialogue. "I don't think it's only celebrities going to be shook. He had politicians in there, he had princes in there, he also had a couple of preachers in there." Deal continued to suggest that many of Diddy's celebrity pals are staying silent on the case because they're aware that the Bad Boy Records founder had cameras and audio recording to this. And thanks for watching Celebrity Spill, guys.